With Godzilla Tokyo SOS performing at a record low at the Japanese box office, Toho decided it was time to once again put the Godzilla series in hibernation. However, since 2004 was set to be the 50th anniversary of the franchise, the studio figured it might as well go out with a bang. To helm the celebration, Toho hired director Ryuhei Kitamura, an unorthodox choice whose style was hoped would lure in casual moviegoers and hardcore fans alike. Set to be the most expensive and expansive kaiju movie ever made, Godzilla Final Wars was unleashed onto the world, giving fans a G-flick unlike any other. In a world routinely ravaged by monsters, the Earth Defense Force, led by a group of mutant humans with enhanced strength and agility, protect mankind from the destruction left in their wake. When all of the monsters suddenly begin attacking major cities across the globe, an advanced alien race calling themselves the Xillians comes to humanity's aid, promising peace and prosperity on a galactic scale. However, it is quickly revealed that the Xillians want to subjugate planet Earth for their own purposes, and with all the monsters under their control, mankind's last hope lies in their ultimate enemy, Godzilla. Godzilla Final Wars can be summed up in one word: excess. As a celebration of 50 years of Godzilla, it attempts to cram in as much reverence as possible, even at the expense of logic or plot. More so than any other Godzilla film before, spectacle is the clear priority here. Fast, frenzied, and absolutely unrelenting, it hammers you into submission, throwing action scene after action scene at you at such a rate that by the end you'll be exhausted. This will undoubtedly rub some the wrong way, but for those who will happily revel in the more absurd nature of the genre and are eager to consume as much kaiju carnage as humanly possible, it's a smorgasbord of pure adrenaline-fueled entertainment that never bores. The story of Final Wars is nothing new, and is in fact very much a remake of Destroy All Monsters. What makes the movie stand out is the style of director Ryuhei Kitamura, who brings a distinctly more modern, Western sensibility to the franchise that could be argued makes it more palatable to the uninitiated. Gone is the classic setup, where monsters fight monsters while the humans can only stand by and watch. Here, the humans are as much in the fray as Godzilla is, allowing the film to cross-cut between the two in such a way that keeps you glued to your seat. Motorcycle chases, aerial dogfights, and over-the-top kung fu fill the runtime when the monsters aren't on screen. Together, these halves make for an experience with absolutely zero substance to it, the equivalent of a burger from your favorite fast food joint, and boy is it undeniably tasty.
Ozaki? Nice work.
The human cast is made up of an impressive roster of young and old, and appropriately many of them are veterans of the franchise. Akira Takarada, Kumi Mizuno, and Kenji Sahara all make appearances, with Takarada in particular playing quite a substantial role and clearly loving it. Masahiro Matsuoka plays Shinichi Ozaki, a mutant whose conscience allows him to tap into the latent power within. At his side is Rei Kikukawa as Miyuki Otonashi, a UN biologist he is assigned to protect. Aiding them is her sister Anna, played by Maki Mizuno, a journalist who smells the deception of the Xillians before anyone else. The two who steal the show, though, are Kazuki Kitamura as the evil controller of Planet X, and Don Frye as Douglas Gordon, the captain of the flying warship Gotengo. Kitamura is deliciously over the top, playing a villain so gleefully egotistic it is a joy to watch him get his comeuppance. On the opposite end is Don Frye, whose performance is so comically dry it has to be seen to be believed.
I'll undergo your court-martial or anything else you have. So just keep your mouth shut.
The cast of kaiju is just as expansive, a who's who of Godzilla's most classic friends and foes. Final Wars is so filled to the brim with monsters that most of them get mere minutes of screen time, which may disappoint some, but they make the most of what they're given. The biggest surprise is the inclusion of the TriStar American Godzilla, here dubbed simply Zilla, who shows up just to get beaten by the real Godzilla, who in this film is comically unstoppable, cutting through the film's roster of kaiju like a slasher villain, taking down one after another at such a rate that some may get frustrated, but that is the film's charm. No one monster can touch Godzilla, making for some truly humorous and gratifying moments that reaffirm his unofficial title as King of the Monsters. Final Wars benefits immensely by the increased budget, sporting some of the franchise's most eye-popping action scenes. The production value is a significant step up from prior entries, and the compositing of suitmation, model work, and computer effects is the best it's ever been, all of which further contributes to the film's immense scope. In fact, the film is so epic in scale that it often loses sight of its own narrative coherence. The story falls apart upon even the slightest of scrutiny, and certain characters and plot points are awkwardly crammed in not out of necessity but of obligation. Simply put, taken on its own, the film is a gigantic, sloppy, overblown mess.
Oh, it's a real Anguirus. Mommy?
It's a good thing then that Godzilla Final Wars is so outrageously entertaining. As a 50th anniversary celebration of the Godzilla franchise, it checks every box, filled to the brim with references, callbacks, and in-jokes to the point where it becomes a detriment to itself. The film is a mishmash of many genres set within the framework of a kaiju movie that is fun from start to finish. It certainly isn't the most thematically rich Godzilla movie, but taken for what it is, a modern-day throwback to the kind of schlocky, goofy fun the franchise was so fond of in the past, Final Wars is a blast, and a satisfying way to commemorate a significant milestone of one of Japan's most iconic fictional characters. For more reviews and opinions on all things Godzilla, subscribe and stay tuned to Up From the Depths.